WWE Hall of Fame is the night before WrestleMania, and it's an interesting pick. Tori Wilson, a woman that has been in the forefront of WCW in Attitude Era, the Invasion Era, and honestly, she could have been Women's Champion over the past few years back in the day, but the title's exclusively on Raw, so she wasn't there on Raw that long, honestly. But in fairness, she had a great career, many angles with people like David Flair, his father Ric Flair, uh, people like Carlito, people like again Flair, and of course being in an invasion angle, which had the incredible bra and panties match against Lita and Trish in the invasion. But you think about it, she had a great look. Don't get me wrong, and people will probably think of her for her looks more than her actual wrestling ability, which improved over the years. But they also think about the Al Wilson scenario, which I don't really want to talk about, just because of being in today's world. We do have that kind of thing going on, but just basically, with the Al Wilson thing, just so we can stop on that. Donna Marie had a thing for Tori's father Al, to where they got married in storyline, to where he died in storyline after being overly sexualated, I guess you could call it, basically dying while having sex. At his age, he had to be in his 70s or 80s at the time, which led to a match which honestly just is kind of weird in today's world, but she did manage a lot of people. Billy Gunn, a little bit of the Filthy Animals, Shane Douglas during the end of WCW for a little while. Of course, David Flair with the incident with Stacy over the years. Carlito, and ironically, Billy Gunn, which shows that Billy Gunn is pretty much the focal point of this Hall of Fame, with people like Honky Tonk Man and Tori being in it. Which did also have the thing with Jamie Noble, which we won't talk about because that was a thing. And honestly, in the wrestling business, she didn't do that much accomplishment-wise, but let's go to it. For WWE, which I guess was maybe a Slammy, I don't remember. The Golden Fong Award, I don't remember this at all. But that was a thing. Of course, the Hall of Fame, and of course, the aforementioned Al Wilson feud getting the Gooker Award on WrestleCrap. But, if Tori, it's weird to talk about now because, of course, it's an age where WWE sexualized women, which isn't a bad thing because, there is that old saying that sex sells, but, Tori, of course, was a Playboy Playmate twice, a Playboy cover girl twice, but, her looks shouldn't take away her body of work. As a wrestler, in the era she was in, she did what she could. At that point, it is great to have her in the Hall of Fame, but it's weird to talk about nowadays, especially when we live in a world that's so offended by everything. We're just trying to keep this as short as possible and just move on.